Okay, so it's rolling?
Yeah, you check. Yeah, we're on.
That thing is orange.
No. That.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Okay, so we're going to show you guys a sample program for do while loops. So I made a little program that turned out not to be so little. But I tried to make it at least math dependent as possible. That's a challenge from Kevin.
Yes.
Who is, by the way, an idiot.
Whatever, Puga.
Okay, so
let's count how many spelling errors you did.
The program I wrote basically is an assembly line, a make-believe assembly line, if you will. You're basically counting products starting with 0, and you keep adding products in the assembly line as long as you keep pressing Y, which is yes. So we'll keep adding products, and then at some point, after you accumulate 5, you will reach an if statement right over here, which will ask you if you want to unload the container in which we're putting all of the products. If you wish to unload the container, that would be my nuclear strike alarm.
Yeah.
We need to get to the bunker now.
We'll get to that later.
Okay. Anyway, so if you say yes, we will change the products back to 0. We will tell them that we unloaded the container and output how many products we have. By the way, if you notice why I kind of did a little... Okay, let's just go from the beginning of the program and let's just go over it. So we're going to be using 2 character variables and my integer for product. Okay? First, cout statements. This is just looping a little bit of space so we can see it apart from just the regular text that we have in Sleipner.
Trying to make it look good.
This right here is my first message, is welcome to the assembly line. Press Y or lowercase y to keep adding products, and /n to stop. Realistically, you can put whatever else you want. It'll still exit, but I'm just saying n or /n to exit.
Yeah, and just a little note, for the cout statements, keep in mind that this is all one line, even though he has it on 2 lines. So, yeah, you'll see that in the actual output.
If you notice, I didn't put the end lining here, so it'll just concatenate, which is just adding to the string, basically, even though they're different strings.
Yeah, and I was going to show an alternate way of doing this later on in the code.
Okay. That's cool with me. So, alright, so when we start with our do, we add a product because we don't care about products when they're 0. And we output, we currently have product amount of numbers, and there should be a space in there. By the way, if you notice, I'm really picky about the spacing because it really does make a difference
in presentation, yes.
Yes.
In readability.
So, currently have, if you remember from our previous videos, when you output a variable like this, you output the value that's inside of the variable rather than the name of the variable. Product amount of products, and end line. We enter in a choice, which is either y or n. We go into a little if statement that checks how many products we have. If you have over 5, it'll say we have a lot of products if you'd like to unload. If you want to unload, we input into another one of our character variables. We check it. If it was yes, we set the product counter back to 0. We tell them we unloaded the container full of products. We check the very last condition, and then we go back. So let's see how this looks.
Nope.
I actually... What?
No, I was going to say, before you do that, I was going to show my example of a different way to do the output. Instead of having couts every line, you can get rid of this, and you can get rid of this. And it's the same cout that you have here, but it's just split on 2 lines. And it's the same thing.
Cool story, bro. We'll check that right now. Just clearing the screen and then compiling. Okay, fantastic. Alright. So we have one product. I want another one. Type in Y. 2, 3, 4. Okay, once we have 5, it should ask me.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you want to go? Let's go through the loop again.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Would you like to unload the container? I want to say no. We're not going to unload it yet.
So we should keep going up, and it should keep asking us. Yeah. That's how it's supposed to work, right?
Yeah, it is. Just I kind of figured it would tell you that you got to keep pressing Y to keep adding, but whatever.
Oh, no. Yeah, I know.
Or 7. Alright, I want to unload my container box. So I'm going to go ahead and press yes. Container loading, we have 0 products. And then it adds 1. So now we have 1 the assembly line.
Yep, because we're always getting products for our assembly line.
Once again, we pass 5. Let's just unload it. And let's just press N, and that's how we exit. We exit the assembly line. So, as you can see, even the smallest of programs can get a little bit tricky when you keep adding all these different little conditions that you have to test. Your programs can get pretty massive as you keep going. And would you like to add anything to this, Kevin? I'm not particularly sure that we're basically a do while and a while work almost in the same way.
Yeah, you just have to remember that a do while will execute the block of code at least one time, and then it's going to check the conditions at the end.
And once again, do whiles and whiles require you to change the condition at some point inside of the body of the while or the do while. Otherwise, you end up being stuck on an infinite loop. So you don't want to do that. And if you're kind of confused as to why I put this right here, it's because I want to show you that I am actually setting it back to 0, and it's basically setting the program back to the beginning. Because this right here kind of looked kind of weird when we're running it.
Oh.
Yep.
I thought it looked alright, Puga.
Alright, well, I think this is pretty much it for the do while. Honestly, you're probably not going to do do whiles too often. You will probably do them for menus, which we will show you at some point, but not at this moment. And always check that these conditions right here, your Boolean statements, have to be exactly what you want. And even if you're you can honestly do like little tricks like this. Like you can tell them what to put for you to stop, but I actually want to show them this.
Since we're just notice that we're just testing if it's Y, lowercase y or uppercase y.
Oh, I can do uppercase Y. See.
Yeah. It's not saying if we hit anything else, it's gonna make that false.
Yeah, so
it
it'll
doesn't
exit.
have to be in.
Like I'll type in R.
And if you say is R equal to lowercase y? No. Is R equal to uppercase Y? No. So
it's false.
That equals false. So it works.
Yep. So I think this is pretty okay for the do while example. If you have any questions or anything, I think you should probably look at the while one, because do whiles are actually kind of weird. I don't like them a lot. I like whiles a lot better. Oh, and the same thing applies to the do whiles to the whiles. You can have a bunch of do whiles inside of a do while.
Yeah.
You can have a bunch of ifs inside of a do while. You can just
keep
mix and match
them inside of each other.
Yep, it really doesn't matter. You can play around with your tools as much as you want. You can make them be really quite complicated, but always check your conditions. The conditions that you're testing for is the most important part, and always make sure to update the condition that you're testing inside of your while and your do while statement. And that's pretty much it.
Yep, I think that's it.
We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.